Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlicker shills, peasants, debt slaves, serfs, bottom feeders. I am a useful idiot, and here we go again. This is getting pretty repetitive, but we have another plank in the police state, and it's HR3523, or the Cyber Intelligence Sharing and Protection Act, better known as CISPA. And so the other cybersecurity, copyright infringement, intellectual property enforcement bills, SOPA and the like, have all been, HIPAA, have been defeated. A lot of times this tactic is they put up a lot of dummy legislation, and then the one they really want comes down the pike later, and usually has ingredients from the defeated legislation. And by the time they get to this one, CISPA, for example, everything is behind closed-door meetings and all done in secrecy, and it's pretty much a done deal. And this is a bill that will enable voluntary information sharing between private corporations and government agencies in the name of cybersecurity. And this goes along with a topic I've brought up in a number of my videos about the partnership between the government and corporations. And I hope this is making it really clear and obvious to those who still are in the dark that a fascist state is being built. I don't want to intentionally want to use alarmist terms or be prone to hyperbole, but the corporate government industrial partnership is a form of government known as fascism. So I'm calling it what it is. And as we see all these points where corporate America and our government are working together in the oppression of the American people, and it goes across the spectrum from our technologies and surveillance to the police state and everything in between. So this unholy partnership is getting deeper and deeper, and this bill is a good example of clearing the way and giving retroactive protection for this illegality, working around illegality, things that are illegal now, that the government and corporations want to basically data mine together and not have any legal ramifications. So, interestingly enough, this overrides all previous legislation protecting our online privacy and security. So there's been a number of pieces of legislation over the years that were specifically to protect our privacy online. And this bill and this legislation comes along and basically supersedes all those previous protections. So this is a big step. Online privacy is now over. So, and there are no restrictions on the or parameters set on the material. So anything basically dubbed as some sort of cybersecurity threat or a national security threat can be swept up in this dragnet. And as we know, corporations and governments are all involved in sweeping the internet to get all kind of information they can on every one of us and tracking every one of us, selling things to every one of us, and not only analyzing our past and present behavior, but trying to analyze our future behavior. So, and of course, all reports on information usage by this partnership are only available to the intelligence community, so there really is no incentive to discourage abuse of this program. So it will be used for rampant data mining and profiling every American citizen in the new surveillance state. Of course, it obviously undermines the First Amendment of the Constitution, as much legislation undermines the Constitution now. And this legislation is not for punishing someone for spying for a foreign government. This is for punishing those who expose our own government's lies to its own people. It's very specific about that. We have laws in place to protect us against foreign espionage. So this is directed at the American people, once again. And just like a lot of this police state legislation, the language is so broad that it includes all kinds of interpretations, and it includes the elements from SOPA too, of copyright infringement, intellectual property. So this is this is where they throw a bone to the corporations who are going along with this, where they get to get involved too and have the government enforce private contracts for private companies when they think their copyright and intellectual property rights have been violated. So the police state and the government and the corporations get together because they all want to make sure we're good, obedient debt slaves, and they afford each other enforcement arms as well. So, and just like some of the other weird legislation that's around now, there's a clause for subcontracting to private companies, for surveillance. So how odd is it now that we have a national security state that subcontracts out to private companies to essentially put together a police state and spy on the American people. So once again, showing this unholy alliance for everything that it is, and it's not good. So, and then last but not least, this gives them the legal weapons needed to fight organizations like WikiLeaks or anyone else who challenges the government narrative. So they're sweeping the entire social media, the whole blogosphere, the whole internet, for anyone who challenges the government narrative. And unfortunately, that includes people like me.